Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a difference a day makes, man. Let me get a hell yeah if you're having a great time. We're doing really well. So, yesterday, bullish on volatility. That trades up, $1,400 right now. Bearish on FXI. That trades out 3 weeks. It's already up $1,350. Two bearish Raytheon trades that are freaking just printing money. Love this stuff, man. I was talking to one of our coaching guys earlier. He's like, I used to fear panics or red and all this type of stuff in these markets, and now I'm profiting, which is great. Double bam, man. In one day, we're looking at $3,000 in gains on 2 trades that still have some time to go. Hey, guys, no full throttle training tonight. As I said, I'm going to grab Jack and Keely and Susie. We're going to head down to Fort Lauderdale. Take Jack out to dinner tonight, even though his birthday's over the weekend, because we're flying on up at the Dawn Patrol, 6 a.m. JetBlue flight up through New York into Burlington, Vermont. So no full throttle training tonight. Going to be hanging out with the fam. The coaching sessions, I think I've talked to everybody, or scheduled stuff, including over the weekend. We're actually doing a multi-speaker event on Saturday. Let me hook you guys up with that. If you want to attend, it's not full day. It's 10 to 3 or something like that. Let me throw that in the chat box. So there you go. It's go.topgunoptions.com/event. I have a couple coaching calls outside of this. It's cool. Like I said, for my coaching folks, I'll bend my schedule. Saturday, Matthew doesn't play until 8:30 at night, so they're going to run around, Sugar Bush Mountain or something like that, and I'll be locked at the computer because I'm going to intro and follow all these people and be in the chat box. So if you want to join me on Saturday for this event, that'd be great. What else do we have to talk about administrative wise? Oh, this was yesterday. I got to be honest with you. We got 6, 7, 8 2-week test flights. It's a little shocking. I mean, it's interesting. Whatever. I mean, bearish on China yesterday, bullish on volatility, and I sat there and I said, we will retest the 200-day moving average. This rip your face off rally I would sell into, and we're going to retest this 200-day moving average. And we did, magically. So hopefully you're taking some of these, and remember, folks, I don't look at the Jan 20s or 21s right now if they're red or whatever. I really don't care. The only time I look at a Jan 20 or 21 right now, if it's still a solid trade, I add the freaking hell out of it. If you loved Raytheon at whenever we got into it, once, I think our one synthetic stock's at 140, so it's printing money. My point being is, in this type of atmosphere, you add to the goods, right? You take some of these profits from the 2 Raytheon bear call spreads, the FXI, the VXX. The VXX bullish double vertical and this current VXX trade completely negate. So we're up $2,000 so far in volatility trades in 2 weeks after getting kicked in the ass. I got kicked in the ass with last week's VXX short vol trade. So real quick though, I ain't Joe's super marketer, but if you want to save $2,500, you need to grab your lifetime membership soon. And I'm giving you a heads up now, obviously, that the price is going up at the beginning of the year, and the coaching prices are going up too, by the way. A lot of work goes into coaching and flying with individual folks, and being on the phone, texting, and stuff like that. So after doing some math, prices are going up next year, guys, is what I'm saying. So if you want to lock in stuff now, please do it. And I'm giving you a heads up now before people beat the shit out of each other at Walmart, grabbing big screen TVs, and all the money's gone. It's time to really invest in you guys. So Oh, sorry. Hey, good catch, Werner. I appreciate that. What was there? Somebody wrote a huge story in the chat box. Let me read this. 1 Jan 18 would not be correct. It would be 19. Thank you, Werner. I appreciate that. What are we looking at? What's Kevin saying? Great call. Could take could not join. No, so guys, so yesterday was a free webinar, and next Wednesday I think we're doing a free webinar or something like that. So there was 2 links. So Susie created, rightly, a free event yesterday and a free event for next week. So it's the same. If you had tried to use the regular, that's why you got to read the flight schedule, guys. You got to read the Sunday night flight schedule she sends out that says, hey, that there's this schedule change, or Wiz is doing this, or everything, or it's ops normal. So make sure you got to be reading everything that we're sending out, guys. Trust me, we try and be as clear as we can with communication. So, but we will be clearer going forward, even though the reminder email went out with the proper link there. So apparently some of you guys were sitting in next week's class. How's the future look? So, all right, let's go. We got a lot to cover, and it's comical. Let me cover this first, because I just blasted out the sit rep. Did anybody see this coming? Breaking news out of the Wall Street Journal as I was driving back from the eye doctors an hour ago. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin won't go to Saudi conference. I'll just leave that there for a minute. Doc, I said that a week ago, right? A week ago I said, and I don't know if it was people in this chat box or people on social media like, he's going, you're an idiot, what do you know? I'm like, I know he's not going. And that was before even the CEO started bailing. I predicted this guy was not going to go to that conference, that he'd bail out of it. And that's when Trump was even saying, we don't know details and could have been rogue killers. And I'm like, dude, this is going to get freaking phenomenally worse. So that's one of the reasons you're here, folks, is because I have a sense for these things. Only an idiot would think that this guy is going to be the only dude flying into Saudi Arabia to hang out with the crown prince. Are you stupid? So, taking a little victory lap on social media. I'm like, where are all the same people who said Hillary Clinton was going to win? There's no way in hell this guy was going to go to this conference. First of all, most of the dudes and ladies bailing out of this conference, Steve Mnuchin knows very well from Wall Street. Many of you know my sister, Kia Buckley. I've had dinner. She got the Woman of the Year for New York City a couple years ago. I had dinner with him. That other jackwad from Corzine, he was governor and then senator or whatever. A lot of Goldman heavies. Gary Kahn was at that dinner. Gary Kahn was just on CNBC. So they all run together. And you look pretty stupid when Jamie Dimon and the Google CEO and all these people bail out of a conference and you're the only one standing there. So that was easy money, making that prediction, and I got shit for it. I love getting shit for a lot of the predictions. That end up coming true, and then people don't come back and say, hey, you were right, or I apologize. They just kind of slink off into their nothingness. So Raytheon, I predicted this, guys. Somebody was nervous on Tuesday or whatever. I'm like, what are you, high? So if you're ever nervous in a trade, guys are like, hey, this is at my eject. What do I pound in your head to do, man? I shoot these back via text a lot to my coaching client. I'm a little nervous. First of all, if you're nervous, you shouldn't be into trade. Second of all, did your commit criteria change? Do you think this $110 billion defense deal is just met with the president and Secretary Pompeo? I will not be going to the Saudi Arabia conference. That's comical. So guys, if your commit criteria hasn't changed, the reason I got bearish on Raytheon, short term, still long term, incredibly bullish on Raytheon. That's what's great about options, folks. We can be bipolar. We could say, hey, by Jan 20, Jan 21, Raytheon's a $300 stock. Yeah, front month, it's going to get pounded into the dirt. Donald Trump is begging, kicking, and screaming to hold on to this defense deal. And let me put my flight suit on for a second. Guys, we deal with unswarthy. Look at Donald Trump hugging Kim. He said he loved the guy the other day. We flew that poor kid home in an airplane so he could die with his parents. They freaking abduct Americans. They killed them. The guy killed his half-brother in an airport in, Malaysia? With VXX nerve agent. And the president is shaking his hand and hugging. I get it, man. So I got a little email exchange with, I'm being too harsh on the president. Well, this one's a little different. You know what you're getting with cream of some young guy. The guy's a dictatorous murderer. But the Saudis have been doing what lately? Donald Trump has hung his star on what? This 33-year-old, I see a junior me in him or something like that. And this guy, I'm going to let women drive, and I'm a reformer, and oh, by the way, go cut this guy's fingers off and cut his head off while he's alive. So this is why this one's different. People, look at the North Korean guy and this, and that. I get it, but this one's a little different because, we're doing the whole enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Well, we got Saudi and oil and, people bitch about $7 gas and it's a hedge against Iran. Hey, folks, and I put this on Twitter yesterday. I've been having a blast. I've been getting ripped apart by some Saudi bots. You've got to follow me on Twitter, man. This is I literally have been attacked by a bunch of Saudi bots, because good old me likes to remind people every once in a while that 15 out of 19 Saudi Arabian citizens did my generation's Pearl Harbor. And this jackwad's like, those were individuals, and how dare you kidnap them? I'm like, hey, jackwad, if 15 Americans hijacked 4 Saudi Arabian airliners and flew them into Mecca, you're going to sit there and wank that, okay, well, it was just individuals. It's comical, man. You got to, try again with a different lie. Like this guy, Saleh, 100, I'm getting, try again with a different lie. And CIA did this, and it's a false flag and all sorts of shit. Also, if I'm you position, Mahida Abani, I would ask myself, Saudi will be stupid to accuse themselves by using Saudi people doing 11/9 terrorist attack. I've had an incredible 24 hours on Twitter, guys. You gotta find this. Wait, what's going on in the chat box here? David. But trades move, so you should be nervous. Nothing is given. Must have small accounts, so a loss is hard to take regardless. And David, whoever answered that, Rick, you're obviously trading the wrong size. You should not be. Hey guys, all right, well, we're going to have to dig into that. That's completely wrong. So David, I say all the time, man, you should not be swinging for the fences. If you have a small account, you should be trading small contracts. If you have a small account and you went all in on a single trade and that trade lost, that ain't SMRT, man. But we got to go. Let's do our brief here, and then we'll get tactical. Guys, if I say this all the time, when I pull up an order ticket that says max risk of $5,000, that's for a $100,000 account. You got a small account and you decide to risk $5,000. That is it. Absolutely goes on to pilot and command. That ain't. You're breaking. You don't have an SOP if that's what's going on. All right. We talked about this. EWZ is pulling back a little bit today, but I would absolutely, we beat it yesterday. We laughed in yesterday's live trade brief. Literally before we got on the air, John and Pete Najarian, unusual options activity in the Nove and Jan, EWZ, and a massive call buyer and this and that. Okay, guys, I called this back here. Now, both those guys are bigger than me and can beat the shit out of me, but I'd still tell them. I said, load the boat right here. The Brazilian Donald Trump's going to win. The market's going to have a rip your face off rally. Even if the guy doesn't do anything, at least the market's going to react like he did. So we're going to ride this wave here. Looked to put a bull put spread on yesterday at this kind of resistance support. Might reattack that, but we'll see. But yes, still yes to EWZ, folks. If I still think it's good. This guy's going to win. China, again, the president in one of this has been incredible. The past 2 weeks, I haven't seen Sarah Huckabee Sanders once. I think I saw her standing in the background as the president was handing out water in the panhandle. And she hasn't had a press briefing. This guy is on a freaking media blitz. He's talking to everybody. I think he sees the midterms come, and he just doesn't want to filter. He wants to go directly to the people, which is good, and it's bad, and it's good. We got this massive horde of Hondurans and Colombians and all sorts of other folks making a trek north. Does anybody find the timing interesting at all that these couple thousand people are making this caravan north? When should they, based on the average mile per hour and shit like that, I've done the math. When do you think they're going to get to our border? Somebody let me know and use your thinking brain. When do you think they're going to get to our border? Right before the elections. We're going to have kids in cages, CNN, Stormy Daniels, Aventi, kids in cages. If this guy, and today the president said what? I am going to use he already called Mexico and said, and first of all, they're full of shit. If you were escaping a hellhole, it's like a horror movie. If you're running out of a house, the first house you get to that's safe, you go in that one. You don't skip like 3 perfectly great houses to go to the 5th one to be safe. It's bullshit. Obviously, they just want to get here. He's picked up the phone. He called Mexico, and he called these other governments and said, if you don't stop this horde, I'm cutting off all U.S. aid. You will never see a nickel again from us. So So yeah, Peter, I agree. It's an invasion. When we're getting invaded, what do? You call in the United States military. So if he doesn't first of all, I'm furious at the president that he hasn't built the wall yet. What the fuck are you waiting for, man? Before he's like, well, maybe I could use Department of Defense funds. You can. What is a country without a border? It's not a country. It's ridiculous, man. Stop with the bullshit, fund the wall, or build it, or put the U.S. military down there. It's an invasion. I told you guys, I had a couple buddies that got out of the Navy or the Marines and flew for customs out of San Diego. He's like, Wiz, you wouldn't believe the shit we find. We find prayer rugs, we find Korans. If you're going to be a terrorist cell in this country, you ain't buying a first-class ticket to land at JFK and bump into me tomorrow in the airport. You come through Mexico, man, because, no offense, Middle Eastern men look Hispanic. That's what's going on, folks. Put a freaking wall up, Mr. President. Stop it. Or send the freaking military. I'm sick of it. Now, today is Kill the Killers Day in Saudi Arabia. Everybody see this? The one dude, this guy's a Saudi Arabian Air Force lieutenant that was on the hit squad, died in a car accident in Riyadh. In the name of Allah, okay, that's great. I posted about 2 days ago that members of the hit team would soon be killed. This dude's already gone. Mysterious car crash. He's one of the ones that was cutting this dude's body up. Just, mysterious car crash in the middle of Riyadh. So, and the one guy couldn't be heard on tape. The Saudi council, that dude hopped on an airliner. Nobody's seen him either. He said, if you want to live, you will shut your mouth. He was told to, so the council, the highest ranking Saudi in Turkey said, dude, do this shit outside, man, or I'm going to be in trouble. That this guy told him, you better shut up if you want to live when you are back in Saudi Arabia. This is awful, guys. It's like the Clintons. All right, let's move. Mnuchin's been in the news a lot, bailing out of the conference. Shocked. And he's also been in the news that came out with the Treasury report that said completely blasted China's manipulation of the currency, but doesn't do what? Add them as a currency manipulator. This is our global thermonuclear shot across their bow. If the president really wants to do this, and then what do the Chinese do? They drop all of our treasuries. So we got a lot of shooting left in this war, and it's getting worse, guys. Listen to me. Amy, one of my Commanding Officers Club clients is up. She sent me a text this morning, nearly $50,000 on bearish double verticals since she started coaching. Every one of these guys is like clockwork. And I predicted this when I said, this is a dead cat bounce. This one's even worse. And we're going lower. This is bearish double vertical time on FXI. There is not one bullish story I can point to. 2 days ago, the only thing I just saw General Mattis shaking hands with the Secretary of Defense, whatever that dude's, he's in a general's uniform. I would have loved to see Mattis in his 4 stars shaking hands with the Chinese counterpart, but obviously the head of the Chinese military it ain't civilian like here. I love, whenever I see Mattis shaking hands with a dude like that, I do what? I think about his quote that I'm nice, I walk in a room, I shake everybody's hand, but I always have a plan to kill everybody in that room. So I love hearing or seeing Mattis shaking hands with a former Soviet guy or something like that, because that kind of glint in his eyes, like I could choke you 8 ways to Sunday right now. So FXI, guys, I'm telling you, actually I have one, while I'm on the topic, one person had to bail out of coaching for personal reasons, so I do have one coaching slot left. But this is, if you're a double vertical, if you're Tamara trained or Wiz trained, this is double vertical time. It is going to get worse before it gets better, and the president's going to pound on China during the election. It doesn't look like it's on CNBC right now. The Shanghai index is down like 29% year to date. And I'm telling you right now, if there's any PBOC intervention, it'll be a short-term sugar high, and then we will really, really, really implode. So whoever just asked me privately, I do. One person bailed for personal reasons, so I do have one coaching slot left. Can you take so much winning? This came out yesterday from the WEF, the World Economic Forum. The U.S. is the world's most competitive economy for the first time when? since Barack Hussein Obama tried to destroy our country, since Barack Hussein Obama lost our AAA credit rating? Would Taiwanese stocks improve? Peter, I don't follow the Taiwan stock market at all. Rob, it is. The FX, good catch, man. It was flirting with that yesterday. The FXI is at a 52-week low, and it is. When's the last time we were this low? Yeah, a year and a half, dude. This is, and it's going lower, guys. I've been telling you this since I've been blue in the face. We've been doing this. I think I had one blowout or 1.5 blowouts of FXI until I stopped doing that stupid adjust shit and just put on new bearish trades. This is free fall. There is no bottom in the look at that. Chinese stocks at 4-year low, the great wall of worry. If you're a double vertical person, take shots of opportunity right there, man. I'm telling you, it's going lower, and there is no bottom. Okay. Dow fall more than 300 points. Concerns over global growth continue to drag on investor sentiment. So the other day when the Dow was up 500-600 points, and I was the only one kind of sitting here going, do not believe this. What did I tell you? What movie did I quote? Somebody tell me what movie I quoted on Tuesday. Somebody tell me. Werner, we did a bear call spread on FXI yesterday. Want to go in a different direction today. Jenny got it. Patton. With the 500, 600 point rally in the Dow or the SPX, 50, 60 point, whatever it was, I said, General Patton always told the story of the Roman conquerors. They come home in their parade and they bring the animals and slaves and all sorts of cool stuff in a big parade back into Rome. But the commanding general always had a slave on the chariot who whispered in his ear, all glory is fleeting. I said, this rally is fleeting. It will not go up to the 50-day moving average. I said, we will retest this 200-day moving average. And if we go up, now it's off to the races. I will tell you that I do not feel that. I think we're going to do this. Okay? We got midterms. We got Iran sanctions kicking in a couple of weeks. I think we're hanging down here for a little bit, man, and we're bottom feeding. Netflix will save us. Netflix Tuesday after market hours. I'm getting texts and this and that and see. I'm like, I don't believe it. Next day, Netflix is not going to save this rally. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs all had great earnings. CSX, great earnings. Jim Foote, the CEO of CSX, yesterday came out and said, I could not be more bullish on this economy or our company. Now we're in the doldrums here, folks. But obviously, we really don't care. This is why, as an options trader, I don't care. After a violent move like this, it might take us a couple days to get our feet. But once we figure out what's going on, man, we can be killing it. Raytheon, VXX, FXI, and adding to our Jan 21s. So, this headline is kind of comical. Concerns over global growth. The headline the other day with the 600-point rally was global fears over global growth go away. I'm like, just cut paste the stock headlines in here. Will corporate earnings calm the stock market's nerves? I think this was a Monday article in the Wall Street Journal. And what did I say? Most likely not. They haven't so far, so you're going to, even Alcoa. So the earnings haven't calmed us so far. You think Facebook and Amazon, now everybody's doing John said that yesterday. He's like, well, now Facebook will save us. I'm like, oh man, now you're reaching for Facebook, the company that's deleted millions of accounts and eyeballs, the company that's got a hack attack now almost every other day. That's who you're bullish on. That ain't going to happen. We've talked about this. The president is right, although his language and body language, you need to uncross your arms, dude. When you talk, you're talking down to us, especially yesterday when he's sitting there with his arms crossed going, well, the dude was an American citizen. He's a permanent American resident or whatever status was. Crossing your arms and saying shit like that, you look bad. Talladega Nights. Well, we piss excellence here. I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. We're the best there is. So the guy's right, but his delivery's wrong. The Fed should not be raising interest rates and unwinding their balance sheet at the same time. That's stupid. He calls the Fed chief crazy, just Gary Cohn. And I love the liberal press. They always pin people down like, the president called the Fed chief crazy. Do you agree? And they all go, well, why don't you just go, you know what, man, the guy's got hyperbole of the mouth. If you haven't recognized this in the past 2.5 to 3 years, you're retarded. Now, the Fed is a little crazy, blah. That's the way I'd answer that question, is because they always want to catch the president. Like, now, do you think the Fed chief's crazy? I don't know if I'd use that word, but they're not smart, right? You ready for this? Breaking news. I love Amazon again. Absolutely love Amazon. Why? Who follows my Facebook, TGO Facebook page, or on Twitter? If you don't, you owe me 50 push-ups. Why do I love Amazon today? Before I scroll down, somebody tell me who's paying attention, who's on my social media. I could not love this guy anymore. He's. Oh, Brad, you're on my. You watch my shit. Let me scroll down. First of all, he's got some shit kickers on. That's a good. I'm wearing those tomorrow to Norwich. You ready for this? Amazon's Jeff Bezos says tech companies should work with the Pentagon. God freaking forbid. Isn't this incredible that this guy actually had to, you got to watch the video. He's like, who the hell, does anybody know who created the internet? Not, and the answer is Al Gore. It was the freaking U.S. military, folks, and email and all this shit was built by the Pentagon. Why'd he do this? Because shitholes like Google, well, we're going to pull out of this Pentagon contract because it doesn't align with our corporate values. Then get the F out of our country and move to China, Google. Go employ 10-year-olds and go do policy dictated at the end of a bayonet. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to this country. You're un-American, in my opinion, period. So these tech companies, ladies and gentlemen, have a decision to make. Either they're American companies that do business worldwide, or they're a worldwide company that do business in the United States. And if it's the other way around, get the hell out of our country. I am getting to the point, and this ain't me, man, but these should be regulated as a public service. We're getting to that point, folks. I've been fighting Google for about 6 months to pull down this negative review this freaking drug addict threw up, going through Google Legal and shit like this. I'm like, it's a freaking lie. And attorney's fees and suing for defamation. It's a shit show, guys. They should not be in this company. Not be in this country. And by the way, what was it, 2 weeks ago, Apple and Amazon reportedly had Chinese intelligence spy chips in like a bunch of their crap. So not good. So I love Amazon once again, mainly because of the skipper. I soured on Amazon because of the skipper. So I'm back. Amazon's back, in my opinion, baby. Dead cat bounce. I said, do not step in here. This is a ledge. What happened? It fell off the ledge as I predicted. And then I said, this was a dead cat bounce. They're struggling to get up from the grave. This is bullish. I ain't ready. I've added personally to some stuff, potentially having as in the TGO portfolios. Although, like I said, if you got some Amazon on or some XLY, I'd add the hell out of it right here. God bless Jeff. That Donald Trump might not like the dude because he's still a limousine liberal. I mean, come on. He just hides it better than the other ones. But this has got to put, even though Donald Trump skin crawls, this has got to put a smile on his face. That was just great. This was just a great interview. Please watch here. I'll put this in the chat box. Just watch this. I started singing the Battle Hymn of the Republic as this dude was talking, and I haven't heard that from a tech CEO in ages. Matter of fact, I blasted Hulu on Twitter because they're like, make sure you have a culturally appropriate Halloween by not wearing costumes. I'm like, what are you, Warren Elizabeth? Shut the hell up. I'm going to go dressed as Hulu, a retarded millennial who wrote this tweet. These tech companies trying to legislate their crap are awful. All right. Look at that, JP. Get some. So JP is one of those guys. He sits in the background and he picks up on the wizisms. When he says, pound Twitter into the dirt, you pound Twitter into the dirt. The other day, somebody, one of my coaching clients, like, hey, Twitter up after hours. I'm like, sell the shit out of that. any of these bounces. Look at this. Up, down, up, down. That's a freaking flight of stairs, guys. Oh, no, it's back. It's not back. Twitter sucks. So good job, JP. Very, very well done. And some good tactical training. Leonard, I love that. All right, we got to go. Let's strategically, guys, like we predicted, this is going to be volatile. I loved the other day when people were, hey, the all clear sounded. I'm like, this ain't the all clear, man. I won't name names, but if you attended the Monday afternoon trading session, who nailed everything this week? Unless, of course, tomorrow we have some 1,000-point rip your face off rally, which is physically impossible and will not happen. I will take the other side of that trade all day long. So that Monday session, I wish I could replay that right now. We'll get existing home sales tomorrow, and that's about it. All right. Let's bring up this is funny as shit. Try again with a different lie. Oh, hold on. Let me speak some Arabic. I love all these, literally these Saudi Arabia bots coming out of the woodwork and coming after me. Let me get rid of this jackwad. Block. Goodbye. And well, when the dude's got his profile picture is MBS, that dude goes right there. Goodbye, Saudi Arabian intelligence. I can't stand. Hey, folks, real quick, as we look at current trades or new trades, I was the mobile targeting officer in the Joint Task Force. You ever hear of the CAOC, the Combined Air Operations Center? So I lived in Riyadh. I was based in Riyadh. Every morning I walked out of my condo. Right across the street was a massive water tower. And you know what it said on the top? Bin Laden. This was in 2000, obviously, before 2001. And since we're on Saudi Arabian soil, obviously the Saudis did what? Hey, we need to have somebody in the CAOC at all times. It was usually like a Royal Saudi Air Force pilot. And guess what? If you're in Kuwait, the only country that's smart in the Middle East is Oman. Does anybody know who flies for the Omani Air Force? Anybody know who flies for the Omani Air Force? You ready for this? The Brits. It's all a bunch of expat British pilots. The Omani Air Force, they're smart. They just subcontracted it out. And it's a bunch of drunk Brits that fly. I was ingressing into a target one time at like 200 feet with a wingman, thinking I was sneaking under. Dude flew under me. This Brit in the debrief's like, hey, mate, whiz, what were you doing up there? I'm like, holy shit, man. So the Omani Air Force is a good Air Force because it's all Brits. The Royal Saudi Arabian Air Force, the Kuwaitis, guess what you have to be in order to be a fighter pilot? You have to be royalty. And guess what? They ain't the sharpest tools in the shed. You have to be royalty. So sitting in the CAOC every day in the corner would be some, Royal Saudi Arabian F-15 or whatever pilot. For some weird reason, every day we did flight operations in the no-fly zone over southern Iraq. The Iraqis almost knew within a minute what we were doing. You know why? Because the son of a bitch that sat in the CAOC every day would fax them the flight schedule, essentially. Can't stand those people. It's a den of thieves, man. They've been killing themselves for 2,000 years. They're going to be killing themselves for another 2,000 more. Unfortunately, when they get atomic weapons, it's going to be a quick war. Here's real quick on that rant. Saudi Arabia has been supporting the Pakistani nuclear weapons program for years. It wasn't due to humanitarian reasons or just because they're good guys and love Pakistan. It's because of this. They want to be able to dial 0 and say, hey, man, Iran just got a nuke. Give us one. They're not going to do some massive make our own nuke program. Saudi Arabia's already decided that. That's why the president is playing he's in a tough position, man. I don't bemoan what he's trying to do. American jobs, security in the region, low oil prices. It's a dicey thing to be doing. Like I said, the guy's hugging North Korea. The guy's got gulags. He, starves dogs for days and then throws a guy in a pit, and the dogs eat the dude in front of his generals just to keep him in line. Just horrific shit going on. And that leads me to Raytheon. Everybody, any questions on Raytheon? Everybody, I sent out an urgent alert on Friday. I did an urgent alert, or not an urgent alert, another bearish trade on Raytheon the other day. No, exactly, Rick. The president, after being a real estate developer in New York City, he's admitted in the past that he's had to deal with the mafia and shit like that. The president ain't no babe in the woods. So, JP, you're going to be my straight man. JP is going to be my Ed McMahon. So I was just going to say that I would be closing. So the Raytheon trade from Friday or the PLTB, anybody, those should be, is it, I didn't do the math yet, JP. I will trust you. Let's take a look at closing, some Raytheon trades for some nice profit there. And I'm laughing with JP mainly because this should be a lesson learned, folks. You know, the Tuesday panic. First of all, if you're panicking about anything, you shouldn't be in that trade, right? Guys, you shouldn't be in a trade that you're nervous about. I don't think I did in at least one of these trades say, hey, there's a decent possibility this might go negative. I didn't do one of those because I kind of thought it would just kind of either hang and go lower. I didn't expect this. But when this happened, guys, on Tuesday, that 500-point rip your face off rally, what did I say, man? Do not believe it. Dunby. I Dunbeat it. I said, do not believe this rally. So JP brings up a comical point, but if Tuesday you were a panicky one, first of all, you're trading too high. If you're looking at any trade like son of a bitch, if I lose that money, I'm screwed. What are you doing? Right? Second of all, you need to look at your commit criteria. Wiz said Steve Mnuchin ain't going to the conference. He's still going as of now. The president says the arms deal isn't in any danger, and man, I'm getting out of this trade. I would have said that's all wrong. The arms deal is in danger. Lindsey Graham, who now is essentially the Republican running the Republican Party, said that we ain't dealing with MBS, and if we do, the arms deal's gone. And after CEO after CEO this week bailed from the conference, you knew Mnuchin, it was a matter of time. He looks stupid now being the last one to bail out. So you got to ask yourself that stuff when trades are not going the way they're going. You expected them to go. Ask yourself those questions. Why did I get into it? Are those reasons still valid? Yeah. Then go for a walk, man. I don't sit here for 8 hours a day and watch this shit. Guys, if you're that tactical, you're not, go be a swing trader or something like that. Pull your head up out of the trench and put on your binoculars and go, Mnuchin ain't going to that conference. The defense deal, I don't think it ain't going to be canceled. There's no way on God's green earth Trump's going to do that. He will, I don't care if every American in this country says it should be, he won't do it. Might suspend it, or I think, that MBS dude's got to go, but it ain't. So short-term bearish on Raytheon, absolutely, but long-term, man. Pfft. Now, I didn't even get to this. How many times have I told you in the past couple days to get some SDS on? How many of you listened to me and walked over to the SDS bin and grabbed some SDS? Sweet. Awesome. And somebody else closed Raytheon for 90 gain. Awesome. Good. Now, guys, I don't talk too much about, hey, when I say go grab some VIX calls or go grab some SDS, you guys got to manage those on your own. What's your personal SOP with a debit, with just a straight call buy? Uncle Wiz says, hey, man, anytime I'm up 50 to 100% on something I bought, remember, when you buy something, you get theta eating away at you, man. That ain't good. So, take the money and run. This is a nice pop. If you got fresh SDS calls the other day, if you got them on Friday, they're back. I think they're actually making a little bit of money. They were a little bit of a loss or a big loss. And then remember, folks, something ain't a loss until you close it. Something ain't a profit until you close it. It's a gain. So the SDS ones I looked at on Friday are back to, so there's Friday, the rip your face off rally, should be close to even, but the ones if you put on the other day when I said I'd walk over here and get some more are looking really, really, really good. So, Dennis, then you probably got the Friday ones. If you got the other day ones, they're obviously up very, very good. So, but guys, if you think that this is what's going to be going on here, I fully expect maybe tomorrow, guys, to see a relief rally. A Friday, I don't know, 100, 200 up on the Dow. If we don't, the next stop is, I don't even know where it is. That's why, maybe this area back here. So, all right, let's get back to Raytheon. Because I just remembered about the SDS calls. I don't manage those, send out text alerts, because you got to have your own SOP about, hey, shit, man, these calls are up 50%. Do you like 50%? Yeah, then close them. I think they're going to go up even more, Wiz, then whatever. So you guys got to do that. So this is the tomorrow 195, 197 and a half. Okay. This is the original alert from Friday. Let's take a look at this. It's the 195, right there, 195 on Raytheon. These are both at near 100%. Yeah, these are at a penny, 197 and a half. So, 7 cents. Seven? I'd hang on 60 cents. 60. That's $1,800. Let's do our math. Where's our percentage calculator? 1,800, and it was 2010 was the max potential. 2010. I should be able to do that mentally. 80. If you allow me to round up, 90%. Very, very nice. Sweet. Let's pull up our text alert, and then we'll look at the other one. So close out the short Raytheon. It's expiring anyway. Do not do the, I'm going to let it expire worthless tomorrow. I don't know, Raytheon CEO, something happens tomorrow, guys. Don't, go on, take the money and run. If you're seeing a 7, 8, or 9, a 70, 80, 90%, profit on any credit spread, get out of it. Raytheon, Raytheon update. Close. Oct 18. Well, let's look at the other one. What's that, 7 cents? Oh, yeah, we got to talk about Exxon too. And the short calls, guys, this was free money. There's $700. They're probably up 300. So the 200, 202 and a half. Let's see what that one's priced at right now. The Oct 26, 200, 202 and a half. Let's see what that's doing. 30 cents, and we look to get in at 69. So 39 times 30, 39 times 30 equals, so that's up $1,100. What we're looking at for max profit. Oh, that's 50% right there. 11, what's that? 11, what was it? 1170 and 2070. So 57%. You know what? I'm gonna hang. This is why you have an SOP, guys. What did I just say? Credit spreads 7, 8, 9. Although I got to be honest with you, if Uncle Wiz makes 57% since Tuesday on a trade that's out another week, and this is, actually a pre-earnings trade, you know what? Screw that. I'm taking the money and running too. No idea. We could have a rip your face off rally. That's pretty good. That's a lot of profit in Raytheon in what, 3 trading days. Wait, Friday, Monday, 3 trading days. We made $2,900 in Raytheon. All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna go and take the money and run. Update Raytheon. Close Oct 18. Oct. And just for shits and grins, let's take a look at these short calls, because this is free money, guys. I forget to do this often. This is like breathing to me, selling short calls unless something's on a tear. So we look to sell the Oct 26 205 calls for 71 cents. Oct 26 205 calls for how much? 71. And they're at 21. 50 cents. 50 times 10. That's $500. Holy shit. Nice job, JP. Very well done. Sweet. Nice bullish double vertical. Good call. Doing that yesterday, man. That's just using your thinking brain right there, is looking at this and hearing me say, we are going to implode. We're going back to this 200-day moving average. You absolutely could have done a bullish double vertical. I didn't. So JP, somebody I know very, very well, good looking dude, great trader, did that, but didn't want to do in a public session with a bunch of people who would look at us like we're, what the hell's that? So nice job. So I'm going to get out of all things Raytheon right now, and the so close October 20 bear call spreads for total of that's $2,900 since Friday, and close the Oct 26 short calls, because this is pre-earnings, man. Remember, and Diane reminded me on Tuesday, hey, the earnings, do not, in each text alert and on the web pages it said what? Do not hold these through earnings. Short calls, and those are $500 profit since Tuesday. So hopefully you're learning that even in a down market, guy, like I often say, as an options trader, we don't care which way the market's going, up, down, or sideways. We can make money. There's a lot of people at cocktail parties. I got one tonight down in Fort Lauderdale, and people are like, "How you make? No, you're a witch. Burn them. You can't make money. It's everybody's imploding here." I'm like, here's my card. That's exactly right. So that's why I say, guys, in my cockpit, I can actually hide some of my Jan. I don't look at them. Put a yellow sticky on your screen, folks. Do not look at your Jan 21s or 20s right now. If you are and you're looking at them as a loss, why are you in them? If you don't think CSX, MGM, Raytheon, Amazon, ExxonMobil, Brazil, you don't think any of those things are going to be coming back in a year or 2 years, get the hell out of them. That's stupid to think that, though. That's why they're good longs. So when you see them bleeding, so if JP, let's just use JP as an example. JP's, put $4,000 in his pocket on some bearish double verticals or the Raytheons or the FXIs. What should JP do? JP should run over to the discount Jan 21 bin on whatever and sprinkle them around. Wiz, I'm going to add to my CSX, a little bit of MGM. Take your front month profits and put them out here. That'll make you feel better. Why? Because in about a month from now, when we're watching people beat each other up for TVs, life's going to be, everything gets better, guys. Markets go up. This ain't the Fred Sanford. I'm telling you it's not. I told you last week, this is not panic selling. That's program selling. Panic selling is watching the final scene in Trading Places. That's panic selling. And that's not going on. So let me finish this text. Raytheon update, close the Oct 2600 bear call spreads for, that's 2,900, not 2,600, since Friday. Profit since Friday, closes short calls. I put, out, so let me put this out before earnings. So don't trade earnings, guys. Look at what we just did with Raytheon over 2.5 days, and people were, kind of panicking somewhat. Not every, and I don't want to. Guys, we're all family here, and we can. You guys make fun of me all the time if you want, but it just was interesting Tuesday. I'm like, man. But these are all good learning points, folks. When people are like, hey man, this Raytheon trade's down. What are you doing about it? When you hear me say, and I use this analogy the beginning of the week, folks, I'm flying out of Fort Lauderdale up to JFK tomorrow. Hour layover, flying up to Burlington, Vermont. Sit next to Jack and Keely, because they want to sit next to their dad on an airliner flight. If I reach over and tighten their lap belts, that's bad turbulence. I haven't reached over and grabbed anybody's lap belt, okay? Update. So that's the text I sent out. So guys, just know if I'm reaching over, when I say this is nuts or something like that going forward, you need to listen up. JP's been here long enough where he kind of sits in the back eating his popcorn going, oh wait, Wiz just said that. Here's what I'm going to go do. So if you're not gleaning those nuggets out of Moses here, no, I'm kidding. If you're not gleaning those nuggets, stop me, right? Hell yeah, Gary. Hell, I make fun of myself more than anybody else can. Did anybody see Harry said, come on, man. We had a great time. I want to go back out to Tahoe. That was a great venue. Shit, I was making fun of myself today. I was going through some pictures yesterday. Holy crap, who is that? Oh, that's like a throwback memory. So I posted a throwback memory. Look at my throwback memory from today. Look at this guy. So that's me, and this guy's call sign was Hamster. Hunter Hobson. He's a Marine colonel right now. He, after this picture, about a year later, he was on the Blue Angels. So he flew with the Blue Angels for 2 years. But it's funny as shit, because you see, we're on the back of the USS Constellation. And we're 20 feet away from jets at full power. We only wore foamy hearing things. Why? Because we had to be able to hear the exactly, Tim. No, that one's a Marine haircut. So I was assigned to this Marine squadron because he was their only LSO, which is a landing signal officer. So they borrowed me from the Navy so I hung out with this Marine squadron. But so an LSO, you're on the flight deck 20 feet away from aircraft at full afterburner, and the VA denied my LSOs and pilots automatically get a 10% disability from the VA. Automatically. Whiz, 0%. So I shared this, and I'm like, hey, F you, VA. It says in your books I get a disability. I can't hear shit nowadays. So there's your wank against the government. I know the president's supposed to be fixing this shit in the VA, but zero. So I can't hear anything now. I had hearing loss, and of course, good old Veterans Administration says nothing. All right, let's look at some new trades or a new trade. And let's do some good work here. That was a sharp haircut. Kevin, I'd pound the shit out of that. And if you listen to me, kind of sounds like Kevin did. Kevin's up there in the Great White North. Hey, Kevin, my son wrote me today from, now you guys are about equal to Vermont, right? All the way on the left. He said it snowed. It was snowing up there in Vermont. What did I say the other day? I said, this is a dead cat bounce right here. The KSA. What's KSA stand for? Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So the KSA, I would pound. You want to, JP, sit up. There's a bearish double vertical candidate. I'm loath to do that with the masses here, but like I said, I got one more coaching slot left. If you want to do double verticals during our alone time, so to speak, give me a call. JP, so the guy, it's definitely obviously not going to be October. I'm working on November. The stick in the mud is class space. I don't want to do it at the Hilton down the street, sitting in a conference room with cold coffee. I want to do it in the SIBO. The SIBO has classes overlooking the damn floor, and I can get some of their instructors. So I'm trying my best, man, to make shit happen. So that's a good question. It's one of my day jobs. So bearish double vertical, man. The KSA is going to implode. JP, I need you to talk to some friends of ours and make it happen. Go out, JP, I need you to go to Chicago and do some yard work for me. Forget about it. All right, guys, in this type of environment, it's almost like I don't even know which way to go, that there's so many potential opportunities. Why don't I ask you guys, what do you want to trade? We got good bullish on vol. What's VXX looking at today? How much are we up on that one? I mean, it might be time to get bearish. Doc's up. Hey, Bruce, you and JP, pick them up at the airport. Go get some sausage and go talk to some fellows for me. What's our trade doing from yesterday? We might even be out of this thing. Let's look at yesterday. Somebody do the math for me before I. How's yesterday's VXX trade? AR. The 32, 31 and a half. That was a week out, man. This is what you have to do with the volatility, guys. In and out. I wouldn't be holding this. 48. Okay. 30, 32, 31 and a half. 13 cents. What do we get? 25. 12 times 200. Yeah, that's $2,400. Holy shit, man. $2,400. Guys, remember this was a 1-for-1 yesterday. Everybody, I'm out. I'm done. We might even Get bearish here. That's it. I'm out of this one. This was a 1-for-1. This is potentially $5,000. If I can make $2,400 in a day, we're done. I'm out. And hopefully I can get out of this one. Let's get out of it for 13 cents. Bam. $2,400. Let's do this one. VXX update. Man, this is awesome. I'm having a blast. Close. Oct. This was a week away. And please don't sit there and go, Wiz, there's another $1,600 in there. We got a dogfight volatility here, guys. And the market's selling off even harder. Shit, this might go up to $3,000 here in a little bit. Shrek, where you been, man? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Were you in here? You know Hamster, don't you, Shrek? You know, working. Yeah, okay, come on, man. You're in the Marine Corps. So let's get out of this. Let's hold on. Let me see if we're going to have our mid-afternoon sell-off here. Shrek's been working. Now, that's a freaking joke. Oh, yeah, look at that. What time is it? There's your mid-afternoon sell-off that Uncle Wiz always tells you about. There's the hangover guys getting back from lunch. I'd get, you know what? Let's just put in an order at like a dime and take $3,000 on this thing. Jesus, what a beautiful. So I got kicked in the ass with a weekly options trade last week. I'll be the first to admit but I knew volatility was going to come in. I was off by a day. Now we're more than making up for it. Oh, really? He was your mag skipper? Yeah, he's Hamster's mentally retarded. Now he's a good shit. I got to tell you, he's a great American. I got to tell you a story, man, over a beer. He and I out in whatever it was, Shoba. Dude did the number over. We were at night getting ready to wave out at the rock, and he did the number right over this civilian fishing boat that wasn't supposed to be there and blew out all the windows. It was news in San Diego, and it got all the way up to the commandant. And he made it on the Blues update. Close Oct 26. Bull put spread. And those of you who got into a double vertical yesterday, God bless America. You guys are making some serious money today. Close Oct 22. Oct 26. 31.5. 32. I'm going to put in a dime. What was it at? 13 cents. This thing's gonna. This is accelerating. This sell off here. So. Maybe 11 cents, and that would be about a $3,000 gain in a day. That's what we do here, baby. 32, 31 and a half. Now it's back up to 15. I'm going to put in, I'd hang around 13 cents, right? 13, 12, yeah, that's 20, yeah, that's about a $3,000 gain. Because this is going to accelerate. I don't see us pulling out of a super nosedive into the close here. We could, but either way, guys, I'd get out of this, and I'd be actually looking to get bearish on volatility. We're going to have these days, man. Look at this. Let's just go back, man. Men lie, numbers don't. We're going to dogfight here. We're winning. We're losing. We're winning. We're going to have these days. So you gotta dogfight vol here and bank this money. So what was that? $4,200 on Monday with our spread. This one is $3,000. That's $7,300 or whatever it is, man, on volatility. So I'm going to say 13 cents if you can get it. It was 14 cents. And that would be that's a 75% profit in a day. If you can get filled on that, okay? I gotta go fish. VXX update, close that. 31.5, 32, bull put spread 13 cent. That's obviously debit for more volatility trades to come. Fights on. I'm actually going to send this out to everybody. All the clowns yesterday who decided not to take a test flight got to be sitting there going, Josephine, I'm not even going to answer that question. I covered Raytheon for about 15 minutes of this brief. We are, man. We are taking vol one circle. Let me add this text alert to here. Josephina, I covered Raytheon. I sent out a text alert. Got to show up on time, folks. So please watch the replay. Time to reverse. So Shrek's talking about dogfighting, literally, guys. And Shrek will be very familiar with this phrase. And Carl, I think you're in here too. Carl, I got to introduce you, or Dutch, I got to introduce you to Shrek. So Carl, Dutch and I think we went through Kingsville together, and West Coast Hornet guys. He's a JetBlue captain, so he's a TGO member here. But Shrek, the way Shrek is talking is when you dogfight somebody else, you want to be what's called out of phase and out of plane. Right? Not out of the airplane, but out of their phase of motion and their plane of motion, right? So you kind of get inside their turn circle and freaking shoot them. So you want to act, this is why I use that term, dogfight the market. When the market popped the other day, I said, shit, let's get bearish on vol, bullish. This is going to be great. This is going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. Now, I am going to say, listen to me, because we got to get going. I am not going to get bearish on and there it is. Look at that. They're a little bit of a reverse. So listen to me. Let me bring up VXX. I'm going to give you I need one more day. I want to make sure there ain't no sort of Friday, holy shit, it's the end of the What did Mike Pompeo say today? What did the Secretary of State say about the Saudi Arabia thing? He said, we need to give the Saudis a couple days to figure out their lie. I added that last part. So, your homework, and I'll try and do this. I land in Burlington at like 2 or 2:30. I'll be in, it's like an hour drive to the campus. Susie will be driving. I'll be on my laptop here. Maybe I'll send out another urgent alert. I need a day. I want to make sure, exactly, Werner. I need to make sure that this sell-off here doesn't have a follow-through tomorrow. I don't think it will. My prediction is we're going to do this crap right here. Not this deep drill, holy crap. Is this the big one? No, it isn't, like we predicted. Give me tomorrow. If anything, tomorrow we got time, man. Let's not get greedy. We've been printing money this week on VXX. With 2 trades with $7,000 in profit, makes up for the $5,000 loss last week in the weekly options trade. So that's net up 2. And let's pause for half a moment here. So somebody earlier said, hey, well, if you're just in one trade and that trade's a losing trade, I can't help you, man. You gotta be trading. You gotta have a flight deck, folks. And if you don't have a flight deck, if you don't have an aircraft carrier, you're in a rowboat. You can't be. You gotta scale appropriately. Okay, I can't. If you have and I can't give you trading advice. I'm talking on the public square to everybody in this room, the hundreds of people in here. If you're going large and you got a small account and that trade's a losing trade, I have zero sympathy for you. And I mean that with the full weight of it. Life's tough. It's even tougher when you're stupid. Do not do that, man. And I'm going to give you respectful truth over artificial harmony every day of the week. Not going to blow smoke, man. That's not what you guys pay me for. I'm here to be completely honest. If you had done everything that we did this week, you'd be printing money. Okay? So if you got blown out on a weekly options trade last week, man, we've been doing this for 9 years. TGO's been around, man. There's winners and losers. So $5,000 loss last week on my weekly options trade and about a 7,200 gain this week on volatility. That's a net 2,300 victory. So if you just did the one last week, that sucks ass. I get it, but you got to be able to hang, man. So rant complete. What I'm getting at is your homework, and it looks like Fridays might be back to my urgent alert day. Last Friday was an urgent alert, and that's why it's called an urgent alert. I'm going to send them out when I think I want to see tomorrow, guys. This is a long ramble to what I think everybody knows I'm about to say is let's see if we get some follow through tomorrow. If we're only down a little bit or whatever, I'd absolutely get bearish on volatility. It would be bearish double vertical time like we did when? Last Friday. Boom, $4,200 profit in one trading day between Friday putting it on and Monday taking it out. Tuesday, I'm sorry. Same thing. So look at these oscillations, folks. They're getting, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. We're going to be back down here eventually. Now, let me hedge my bets with all of that is contingent on what? Saudi Arabia, the president, Iran. Obviously, folks, we could wake up tomorrow and, Hawaii's being nuked by North Korea. All sorts of black swans out there. But using our thinking brain and doing our brief that we did today, most likely getting bearish on volatility. If you want to step in today, I got a feeling JP's ignoring me and stepping in today. Good on you. I'm speaking to the masses here, right? I, as a portfolio manager here at TGO, would wait until tomorrow to throw on a bearish trade on volatility. If this ain't your first rodeo, Shrek, JP, Diane, maybe a Werner or a Tim or Rob, maybe, exactly, shot over the bow here. Well, Robert, we put on a bear call spread yesterday on FXI, and we looked to right here, guys, and I covered this yesterday. Make sure you watch yesterday's accelerated retirement. This I'd be selling it at the money bear call spread, maybe even a 39 and a half out a couple weeks. This thing's in a free fall. There ain't no bottom here. So you bet, Robert. Just go out about a week to 2 weeks, 39 and a half. Let me get rid of this. This is a gap move here. Let me map it appropriately. Half the gap is, 30. That's a little, 39 and a half ish, 39 and a half, 40. I think this 40 is going to be resistance. Even if the PBOC comes in, you see how anytime we get a little bit of a ledge here, it sells off. So yeah. So that's the answer. I personally would be doing a bearish double vertical. This thing, there ain't no, and remember, they kind of lag us a little bit. Wait, are they in front of us or behind us? However it works. Meaning, even if we get a recovery, as we're sitting here in a recovery day, the Shanghai is still a shit show. Obviously, when we're going to bed, they're trading their asses off. So, all right. Somebody asked about the KSA. Yeah, man, there ain't nothing bullish. I should have. I just looked into this last week, guys, to be honest with you, so I ain't no Nostradamus here. I'm like, holy shit, of course, there's an ETF for everything. I needed to do a better job last week of finding it. I found the KSA, and I'm like, oh shit. But when I did realize that there is one we could trade, I called this as a dead cat bounce. I'm like, Minuchin, he's going to the conference. You're retarded. You're retarded. He ain't going. Nobody's going, and they're in trouble. This is another good bearish double vertical candidate right there. So, and I'd go at wherever this cat bounced. What's that? 28 and a half ish. I'd go to 28 and a half, 29 at bearish double vertical right here. At least the bear call spread. Don't know what the put spread will look like. This is classic momentum, guys. Is Saudi Arabia going out of business? No. Can they hurt us? Sure. Yeah. Hey, Mohammed, walk out to the spigots and turn them off. Holy shit, oil's at, $150 a barrel. Oh crap, we need to talk ExxonMobil. So can they shoot across our bow? Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, they ain't the adult in this conversation, we are. And that ain't me being jingoistic, that's me being realistic. They need us. Okay? So there you go, look at this. Look at that. As predicted on Tuesday, I said this will pull out of its nosedive nicely. What did I say? I said this was going to Raytheon. Remember that one time Raytheon did that? That's exactly what ExxonMobil's doing, and it is only going higher. Dennis, you should be able to make a market in there, though, man. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of. So look at this volume. I don't know what the average volume is in this, but that has to be a lot for that. So let's take a look. Sorry I went over, guys, but I'm having fun, man. This is fun shit. If you're not having fun right now, guys, you're either trading too much size or you're not you're doing something wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, the volume is 112 up there, so Gary, we do have those calls, and what did I say? You should not be holding those calls through earnings. So you're getting some You're getting some theta in those right now. This is a nice turn. Remember when I put that trade on the other day, I said this ain't going to I don't expect a rip your face off rally out of Exxon. What did I say? I expected a Raytheon kind of J hook. So I'm okay with those short calls. But yeah, back to this, guys. At the end of the day, believe me, they have to make a market, guys. If you come in at a realistic price, and this is another thing. If you guys don't understand this, JP. Folks, if you aren't getting filled on a trade, what do you do? Let's talk some Chicago politics here. Wiz, there ain't no volume in this thing. I can't get filled on this. What do? Somebody tell me. You can do that, Rick, but what can you also do? You could pick up the phone and call your trading desk and go, hey, man, this is a good price for this. I am not getting filled. You need to reach out to the market maker and tell them to make a market. This is old school, guys. Market makers get a shitload of benefits. They have to make a market. Now, they might come back and say, all right, well, come in at the ask. But at the end of the day, folks, you can get filled on stuff. That is their responsibility, is to make a market. I'm not going to get into a massive discussion here. There you go, Bob. You pick up the phone and you call the trading desk and go, yeah, Rick didn't know that. Look at this. Learning has occurred. Stocks drop on fears about rates, Europe, and Saudi drama. We could have written that headline last week. Anyway, guys, now let me give you some Uncle Wizisms here. The dude or the lady on the trading desk can pick up the phone or, direct to hey man, you got a nice offer here, man. You can complain, guys. Go squeaky wheel. If a market maker is not doing their job, you can actually file and you're going to get filled because they don't want to. You file a complaint against a market maker, shit happens, man. So anybody didn't know any of this stuff, I'm glad I'm telling you about this stuff now and I'm glad whoever told me that was a doc. Somebody in here said, hey, there ain't shit for open interest for volume. Let's make that. We did that with XRT. We did it with FXI. We've moved markets. There's been zero open interest or volume, and all of a sudden by the end of the webinar, there's 700 in here. You got it, Doyle. You can pick up the phone and bitch about your commissions too and say, hey, I'm leaving to go to Brand X, close my account. Whoa, you're not going anywhere. We'll keep you. So, Gary, yeah, I said that, guys. Raytheon, be out of I said ExxonMobil and Raytheon trades before earnings. I said that in text alerts. I said it at least 20 times in each webinar. So these were pre-earnings trades. Let me get back to this KSA thing. So actually there is volume and open interest here. Looking at the 29.30 bear call spread on this thing. They have to make a market in this. If we threw 150 contracts in here, 75. This has to. And, as people said, I don't think. Well, this is a good trade, in my opinion, right here. I'd personally be doing a bearish double vertical, risking 49 to make 26. You might, look how, all right, let's get a little strategy training. The bid's a nickel. Bid nickel at 65 cents. That's the way you talk in the pits. You could you couldn't even fly a Hornet through here. You could fly an Airbus A380 through here, guys. That's my I couldn't draw an Airbus 380. You could drive an Airbus 380 through the bid ask. So that's why if somebody's sitting here going, I can't get filled for shit. Well, guess what, man? You're going to have to render on the Caesar with a Caesars. If you like this bearish trade on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which I do, whoever said earlier, you're right. You're probably going to have to walk it up a little bit. But if you walk it up a little bit and you're still not getting filled, hey, Steve at the trade desk, take a look at this order ticket and pick up the phone and call Moose and Rocco over at who's the market maker in this or whatever. You got get me filled on this. That's their job, man. Options House, we had like a foosball table, a pool table. Put those traders on the trading desk to work, guys. That's their job. Now, it's almost like that. Anybody see that comedian? What's his name? Steve Maniscola or whatever. He has this great comedy routine about like the self-checkout. Like The frickin' supermarkets gave up on us. You do it. The self-scanning and why shit should be cheaper, man. So the brokers have put this on us. So, yeah, Bill, it's November 2nd for Raytheon's October 26th. Whatever it is, guys, I'm just saying Raytheon is October 25th, and then ExxonMobil. So it doesn't matter, guys. I'm out of the Raytheons, and then the ExxonMobil is the bullish, and then those short calls. As we predicted, it's going to we predicted this recovery here. It had a nice little pop. What did it get up to the highest today? Yeah, 82.5. That's pretty damn good. But let me finish here, guys. What I'm getting at is the brokers. This is great. I can trade literally from anywhere on the planet with my cell phone and an internet connection, man. I got my brokerage platform. I got the broadcaster. But brokers have done what? They've made it so easy that kind of, well, why are we paying you? What do you do besides the technology? I get it. You got to pay your booger eaters. Other than that, man, pick up the phone and say, get me filled on this trade. They might put you on hold and say, well, it looks like, 30 or, 40 cents we'll get, okay, well, then get me filled at 40. So it's a wide bid ask, guys, but there has to be a market maker in here to make a market. They have a job to do, man. So you can always pick up the phone and tell them to do their job. Not the market maker. You can't get to them, but your broker. That's the broker's job. Why do you think you're paying them a commission? Same thing with your real estate broker, man. Go pound the pavement and sell my house. You just don't sit there with a for sale sign and you do it all. So, all right. What else? Going to close this out because I need to head down to Fort Lauderdale and pack to head up to Vermont. What else do we got going on here? And then we're going to head out here. What the hell is that, Mike? That's good. You know what? That's good. Everybody, if you get a chance, read what Mike had to say there. They're not. They're absolutely not. They're not prepared for that, Mike. It's a very good write-up there. Yeah, if you get a chance, everybody read what Mike had to say there. Good intel. And if anything, man, do me a favor, post that in the ready room. That's a good. That's something good to post in the ready room. All right. It is, man. I thinned out my blood. I grew up skiing in Vermont, but shit, man, living down here in God's waiting room, my blood's thin. I'm going to sit up there and wank with my sweater on and my hot cocoa. All right, guys, like I said, we got a full day of some good dudes on Saturday. So like I said, register for Saturday. Come listen to the other folks. Monday session was pretty good. That round table. Looks like the one other guy, the lady predicted the market would be down this week. I said, we're absolutely heading down this week. The other guys were all bullish and stuff. Good stuff. I mean, we've been wrong before. It's not that often, but yeah, it happens. All right. Russell 2000 touches correction territory, drought, transport slide into correction territory. Let me just, before we go, let's see what VIX and VXX are doing. Yep, there you go. So our mid-afternoon sell-off had a little bit of a head fake that we weren't going to do it, and now it's coming back to life here. So, all right, should be able to get out of that VXX for a nice one-day profit, man. Anytime you can make anywhere between $2,500 and $3,000 in a day, take it. I know the max profit says $5,000. That's out the next Friday, guys. I don't even think by next Friday the Crown Prince might have committed Harry Carey. This shit is a very fluid market, and headlines flying all over the place. I loved it. I, again, had my eyes dilated today, went to a specialist, and all I saw was breaking news. Mnuchin backs out of Saudi Arabia conference. I was swerving all over the road laughing. And this is let me close in on this. This headline right here. U.S. weighs more time for probe. Mike Pompeo said, let's give the Saudis a little bit more time, to a couple more days, I think was his exact quote. Why did he say that? Why did he say Mike Pompeo ain't no babe in the woods either? He was the head of the CIA. The dude's seen some grisly shit. Maybe he's done. Why would he say a couple more days? Bob. Peter, it's the if you don't think Donald J. Trump has one eye on this, you're nuts. He's got the midterms coming up. He's got a couple thousand people in a caravan coming up to the southern border where we're going to have Democrats with kids in cages and Stormy Daniels down there dancing on her pole, so to speak. You think he wants this? You think he wants Mike Pompeo today or tomorrow before the market close going, yeah, they cut the dude up while he was alive and they all knew about it. And this market's going to implode because Lindsey Graham, when, not if, we find out the MBS was involved, they want to do this over the weekend, guys. All bad news comes out on what? The Obama administration was notorious for this. You got it, Dennis. Friday. How many times Friday afternoon or Friday at 6 o'clock did the Obama administration dump some shitty news on us? All the time. So Dennis and a couple other guys got it right. As soon as I, again, driving in my car, couldn't see, probably shouldn't have been driving. We need a couple more days for this probe. I'm like, you mean today and tomorrow? We knew a week ago, guys. Donald Trump knew a week ago that this dude was killed. The Turks sent us the recordings and maybe some visual shit. So the president played stupid for the cameras. And if you have any half of a brain, you know the guy knew a week ago. He was hoping it was going to blow over. He was hoping that this wasn't going to be in the news cycle. And he was hoping a lot of stuff. But that hasn't happened. So when you see Mike Pompeo say, hey, give it a couple more days, he wanted to get us to the weekend. Because if I guarantee you, Mike Pompeo knows the state of our stock market too. So this is the stock market is a matter of national security. So you got it, JP. Once something's known, it's known. So if over the weekend we get we all know what happened, guys. We ain't stupid. Once it's known that this dude, but JP, we got earnings on November 2nd. So we've kind of broke, this is a double bottom here, guys. I take my bearish profits on the 2 bear call spreads and run. I wouldn't do anything before earnings. Even if they come out next week and say, yeah, we're going to slap MBS on the hand. They're not going to do that. I would wait to get bullish on Raytheon until after earnings. I mean, if we have a short term, yay, the defense deals on thing, I still wouldn't get bullish because for all I know, Raytheon comes out and says, oh my God, this was the worst quarter ever. So I'm not gonna coin flip or throw darts in front of earnings on Raytheon. So good question though. All right, guys, man, what a great week. What a good time. We had a good time this week. Wasn't so much of a good time at the end of last week, but that's why I sent out that urgent alert. I was off by a day that vol was going to come in, but hey man, close is only good in hand grenades and horseshoes. Wasn't close. Took a hit on a VXX trade, more than made up with it. Took a hit of $5,000, made up with it with $7,000 this week. So that's a net $2,000 on volatility trades. Very happy with that. And if you just got into the 2 other winning ones, you're up $7,000. If you didn't and you just did one and you're down $5,000, you got to be able to deploy more than one aircraft off your flight deck. So, all right, guys. So, yeah, maybe, keep an eye out for a bearish trade on volatility. If you don't see one from me, I might not necessarily feel it, or up in the mountains in Vermont, the internet service sucks. That's your homework, is tomorrow maybe kind of sort of thinking about doing what I did last Friday. I'd look at last Friday's urgent alert and almost copy and paste it. Whatever. All right. I'm rambling here, but almost look at the same strikes. Look at last week's urgent alert last Friday, and it's almost copy and paste. That was the Raytheon and the SDS. The bearish double vertical from the other day is what I'd be looking at. Okay, so maybe a bearish double vertical tomorrow. If I have internet and I'm not, driving off the road through upstate or downstate Vermont, I'll try and hook you up. If not, you guys definitely have the situational awareness to do this. So, Doyle, there'll be tons of opportunities, man. This is great. We haven't even seen the shit show started, guys. Remember, we got kids in cages coming up, and I got to be honest with you. First of all, what is it? Like 0.01% of these kids are actually with their real parents. They're with child molesters and human traffickers. That's who you torture alive to death. Human traffickers. These kids come with dudes that ain't their parents. And whatever. if you really loved your kids, you wouldn't be doing that to them. Anyway, I got to go, guys. Good session. Like I said, we're having a blast. I haven't had this much fun in a while. So should be having fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. Get in the ready room, interact with your fellow traders so you can, so don't trade alone. I know we interact when we do our go-to trainings and you guys can chat and stuff like that. Get in the ready room. I mean, Rob and a couple other guys have the Bozeman, they got the Montana chapter. We're the Flying Elvises, Montana chapter. And to JP's point, I'm trying to unfornicate November for Chicago, but if it gets later than that, man, we're going to go God's waiting room. I ain't flying up to Chicago in December or January. You guys can come see me in Boca, and we'll have fun. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. I'll try and see you guys with a Friday market wrap up or an urgent alert. If I don't, just know that it's driving issues and the internet sucks in Vermont. And I love Vermont. You're either a Bernie Sanders supporter or you're a Second Amendment gun rack truck dude. I love Vermont. We're gonna have fun. So all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. Had a great week. I'll see you guys next week, or I'll see you Saturday for this multi-speaker event where I think I'm Matthew in the middle here. So all right, guys, God bless. We'll see you.